how to develop one simple mapping or pipeline. In other tools, you take it like Informatica, data stage. There we used to call it as a mapping. Okay. Here we used to call it as a pipeline. Inside the pipeline, we have the mapping actually. Okay. Now, what all you did is in our pipeline, what all you did is in our pipeline, if you see the monitor, there debug. Yesterday we did the debug. There you can go and you can see the details. In the details page, you will have clear picture what you did yesterday, right? You taken is you taken your source as a one blob you taken as a source. Then we are trying to load the data into your Azure SQL database. Your Azure SQL database. Even yesterday, this Azure SQL database is sitting in separate subscription. It is sitting like our sandbox subscription. It is available. Still, we are able to move it one subscription to another subscription. Also, we did it today onwards. Today onwards, I'm not going to use sandbox. Everything I'll use my subscription only. I'm going to use it every day. Switching on that one and switching off is bit boring job for me. Okay, I have a lot of student IDs are available. Once it is completed, I can get one more student ID. That's what why I'm going for this one. Okay, now I created in that way one Azure SQL database also I created here already, and our linked service also I changed it. I changed it to point out to this one. Now we have now we have now blob is available inside my subscription only now. Azure SQL database also available in my subscription only. Blob, pointing blob, one linked service we have. Pointing Azure SQL database also one linked service we have. Those linked service using already two data sets are available. And those two data sets using, you created a pipeline you created. It is useful to copy the data from year to year. Okay, now yesterday we used the target as other subscription Azure SQL database. Today, just now I changed actually to my subscription Azure SQL database. I changed it. If I go now and if I try to see this table, it may not be available because I did not run the pipeline after changing the subscription. If you go to the query editor, review, then pass here, password R capital ITEC small 123, then we can notice we have bunch of sample database tables may be available. IP address is not allowed. Okay. Hello list. Here itself we have the hello list IP is available. We are allowing this one. Then say click on OK. Now, if you see the tables, there may be some bunch of tables are available. These all are sample database tables I created to experience some rest of the chapters. Now, but we don't have a table called as TZT-EMP. Is it available here? Do I have a table called as TZT-EMP? TZT-EMP. Is it available? No. So now go and try to run our pipeline so that you'll see that one. Then we'll continue from there. I'm trying to take our pipeline. We have go to other. Then we have the pipelines. Then we have here 7am folder. This is your pipeline. We are trying to run this pipeline. Click on the debug. Okay, mostly it will run without any surprise. And it is going to load the data from blob to Azure SQL database. It is going to load it. Once loading, we can able to execute this one. If execute it, it will be giving the data to us. Let us go and try to see it. It's going on. Right. Now it's succeeded. Now as it succeeded, if you go and try to observe how many rows it is read 15, how many rows it is loaded is 15. Now go to the Azure SQL database and execute this one. Previously it was throwing error. Now it is giving the data it is giving. That means we loaded in the same subscription. In the same subscription, we maintain now a blob. We maintain now Azure SQL database we maintained. Now our ADF is consuming this blob and producing the Azure SQL database table. What data set it is consuming? What database it is consuming? Blob it is consuming. It's producing what? Azure SQL database table it is producing. Okay, now spend some time to understand the JSON file which is available. You know what? You know what? Whatever you do, whatever you do in the ADF, everything is a one JSON file, simply one JSON file. So you maybe created one data source, that is a one JSON file. You created one pipeline, that is a one JSON file, like that. If you want, you can go and you can see it. For example, you created a pipeline, you created. Simple way of deploying, for example, I want to deploy this one into your mission, other environment. There is a two flower brackets available right side. If you click on this one, it is going to show you entire information as a JSON file. If you copy the JSON file, if you put it, that's it. Everything is done. But you have to put in order, you have to put it. Order means this is the pipeline code. This pipeline has dependency with what? This pipeline has dependency with what? Your input data set, your output data set. So you have to copy and paste data sets also. Your data set is depending on what? Linked service. You have to copy and do the linked service also. Your linked service is depending on what? Integration runtime. Integration runtime also you have to do it. So if you things like you need to copy paste the JSON, then you have to follow the order you have to follow. First, make sure we have the integration runtimes with the same name. Then you have to make sure linked service are available with the same name. Then we have to make sure data sets are available in the same name. Then we have to copy the pipeline code. We have to copy it. For each and everything, we have the JSON file. We have the JSON file. It may be data set, it may be pipeline, doesn't matter. Okay. Now let's go and try to follow our notes, whatever available. Let me open our notes. Today, what we're going to learn it, we'll try to observe. Yesterday, we successfully completed how to create the linked service to Blob, linked service to Azure SQL database, and we created a pipeline we created. Now today, we go and try to see next, we want to create here something additional columns. Then create the pipeline from blob to blob. These two things at least we'll try to cover. If time permits, we go for install SQL Server and creating the self-host IR also we'll try to see it. Okay, first let us target for additional columns. There are a couple of problems that are available inside this table. For example, you loaded the table of data you loaded. Your manager came and asked one fine day, hey man, when you loaded this table last time, this record whatever we have it, this is loaded as part of on which date and which day load it is loaded. At the moment you don't have information. So you must maintain a column called as load date. You must maintain inside the table when you loaded the data to understand. Okay. Now he may also ask you, hey man, you loaded this one using which pipeline? Then he is expecting using what pipeline name you loaded this one. Okay, something like that. You may have some questions. When you loaded and using what pipeline you ran this one and you got the data, this kind of extra columns is expecting. Okay, now you can go and you can do that kind of extra columns purpose. For example, whatever we have here, I don't want to disturb this pipeline, whatever available, let it be like that. I want same pipeline. One more thing I want it for the additional columns purpose. So what you can do is there is an option, click on these three dots. There is option, which option is useful to copy paste? Can you guess it? I want that pipeline to be copy pasted. Which option is useful?
Clone.
Yeah, clone. Clone option is similar to the GitHub clone. In the GitHub also we used to have clone, right? Clone is nothing but make the same copy one more. I'm trying to make the clone. Then we got here second pipeline, we got it. In this one, we are trying to know extra information is additional columns we are trying to add it. Add additional columns. So we are trying to learn a chapter called as additional columns. Like that, I changed the name. Once you change the name, you can close this properties window and you can minimize this one. And also this is not required now. You can go and you can close it. Now this is what the additional columns respect to one. To confirm is it additional columns one or not, keep your cursor in the top, then it is going to show at the ending, what is it? Additional columns. Now I have here copy data is available, and copy data yesterday we learned about source. Okay, it is pointing to our blob, it is pointing. Okay, and in the bottom of this one, you can notice, let me maximize this one. I'm expanding it, then we're able to maximize it. In the bottom, there is something called as additional columns, we have it. There is something called as additional columns, we have it. If you click on the additional columns information, you'll be able to know learn more. Click on this learn more, then additional columns we are learning. Additional columns during the copy activity. In addition to copying from source to data store to sync, you can also configure to add additional data columns to copy along to sync. For example, when copy file-based source, store the relative file path as an additional column to trace from which file the data comes from. This is a one use case. This is the one use case. What additional columns we can create it. Based on this one, what we come to understand, okay, this record is came from so and so file, this file is seated in this location, like that we come to understand, right? Then duplicate the specified source column as another column. Duplicate the specified source column as another column, as another column. Suppose we have the sal is available. I want to duplicate that one as a, okay, something salary, and also I want to add maybe 100 or 200 rupees I want to add to the given salary maybe. Add a column with ADF expression to attach ADF system variables. There is a concept called as ADF system variables, like our normal operating system also has system variables, right? Similarly, ADF also has system variables. Those system variables are like pipeline name is what? Now pipeline ID is what? Something like that. We have it system variables. If we want to create it, we can do that. Next, add a column with static value to meet your downstream consumption need. Suppose you created this table for the purpose of downstream BA reporting purpose. Then you can go and you can create a column called as purpose, and under that one you can write as a BA reporting. Anyone is seeing this table, they come to understand, okay, this table people created for the BA reporting purpose. Something like that they will be understanding. So these are the use cases why we go for additional columns, why we go for additional columns. Now you can see in the bottom they are trying to create something called as file path. There is a dollar file path is available. We have, this is a system defined one. If you pass like this, the file path automatically will be stored. Second is available some new column name we are creating, that is using the column. The column is source column A. Okay, source column A we are renaming as something like this. We are renaming the source column A. We are renaming something like, what is the name? New call name. What is the old name? The old name is source column A. What is the new name? New column name. Like this, we are trying to provide it. Pipeline name we are passing. This is a system variable we are passing at the rate of pipeline dot pipeline. Then static value you are passing. Here some sample value you can pass anything you get. I think you are able to understand the screen very easily, right? Are you able to understand the screen very easily?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, the future works with the latest dataset model. If you do not see this option, okay, fine, leave it. Now, additional columns, some more information they provided. What is the property? What is the description? What is the required? So you can go on, you can see file path is useful for file purpose. Column is to capture all the columns. Expression, you can write any expression, some static value. These are the four major things what you can do over there. Now, I think we are good with this. Okay, this is what you need to know about the auto additional columns, how to create it. Let us go and try to create it. I am trying to click on the new. I am trying to click on the new. I am trying to click on the new. Now let us click on it. Now first thing is it is asking here. Okay, file path. You want to put the file path over there. If yes, then you can give one thing here, name file path is equal to $$ file path. Now I'm trying to create one more. Let us say I want to know pipeline name. I want to know pipeline name, for example. Then you can go to the drop down. There you can observe we have add dynamic content, then custom, then file path, then column. What option you have to select? Add dynamic content. In the add dynamic content, you can select here parameters, system variables, functions, variables are available. Under system variables, you notice here there are data factor name, pipeline name like that. As for my name, what system variable I supposed to take? Pipeline name. Did you created these all system variables or all automatically available again? Automatically available. So I'm trying to take here pipeline name we are taking. Now click on OK. Wow, beautiful. We are pipeline name one column we are creating. Now I want to add here one more thing. For example, pipeline ID. I want to create here one more thing that is called as pipeline ID. Again, go for here, click on the add dynamic content. Then under the system variable, pipeline ID is available. Pipeline run ID, pipeline run ID I am taking. Okay, pipeline run ID. We are seeing here pipeline dot run ID. Click on OK. Now, similarly, I want to create here one more thing to understand load date. Load date. Load date. Now go and try to select here add dynamic content when it is loaded to understand there is one system variable is available that is called as pipeline trigger ID, trigger name, trigger time. What is this? Pipeline trigger time. So when it is triggered, you come to understand that one. Click on OK. Like this, how many columns you needed extra how many columns you required, that many columns you can able to configure it. These all are called as additional columns. And more information you read it by using I stands for information. If you click on I, you are going to see here learn more. Click on the learn more and read the entire story whatever we have it. Okay, now we have here 4 columns we are extra creating apart from what we have over there. And one more thing is in our target already we have the data, right? In our target already we have the data. By default, what is the right behavior? Right behavior is insert. Right behavior is insert. That means what? It will go and try to append the data or it will remove the data whatever available and create the fresh. What will it happens? Already in our sync, we have the data, right? So is it going to append the data?
It will override the data.
Let us observe. Okay, now we are insert is available here, auto create table is available. This table in fact already there, but whatever 4 columns extra you are expecting now, that is not there. That is not there. In that case, what will happen? Go and try to observe it. Click on the debug. We are trying to click on debug. Then it's trying to run. It is in the queue mode. It is in the queue mode. The input is generated. If you click on the input, then maximize this one, then we come to know here what is our source. Under the source, you can also notice here some additional columns are going on. One of the additional column is file path. Second additional column is pipeline name. Third additional column is pipeline ID. And fourth additional column is load date. Already load date got some value, we got it. Pipeline ID also got some value. Pipeline name also got some value. These three things are system defined variables, right? And file path still it's not value is not came. Once it is started running, it is going to come here. As of now, still not came. Now, now let us go and try to close this one. I am trying to close it. Now it's failed. It is expected. It is expected. Why it is failed? Go and try to observe the reason. Here, 3 buttons are available. First one is input. Second one is output. Third one is what? Error. Always your best friend is error message. If you read the error message properly, then you'll be able to understand what is the root cause. Now you can notice here Error code is user error invalid column name. What is it clearly saying? What is the problem? Invalid column name. User configuration issue. Failure happened on which side it happened? Source side or sync side? Sync side. The problem is happened. The error code is user error invalid column name. Okay, now the column file path is not found in the target. The column file path is not found in the target. That is the root cause. Because in our target we have here, in our target, if you go and try to observe, in our target, if you go and try to observe, are we having here anything called as file path? In this target, do we have anything called as file path column? File path column is available?
No.
No. As it
No.
is not available, it is throwing same error message. It's throwing, hey, I am not able to find file path column. I am not able to find the column file path is not found in the target. We selected here auto create table. Auto create table means what? If table is available, don't do anything, silent. If table is not available, then only create it. That's what the auto create table option we selected. As table is available, it's saying as okay, table is available. Don't check for the okay, these columns are available or not, these columns are available or not, like that, won't check it. Only table name it is available or not. That's what it's going to check. Now, in order to work it out, extra columns, if you want to work it out, we have two approaches now. One approach is go manually and try to alter the table to create these four columns over there. Then you run it, it will work. That is approach one. Approach two, if you think like the data is not needed for you, then you can drop this table and again run it. It will work. These are the two approaches. Okay, so everyone I think knows how to alter the table to add one more column, right? If anyone don't know, go and try to get it. We'll do the first approach or second approach, whatever you feel like. But I'll explain the both the things here. Alter table to add a column to add a column. Okay, in SQL server. Just try to type it. You'll get the syntax. You are going to get it. I think you might be know about it. SQL alter table statement. This is what the syntax. Now we can go and we can take this syntax. Okay, this is the syntax for altering the table and adding the column. Now go and try to put it here. Now what is our table name? TZT EMP is your table name. And what is your column name we are expecting? The column name we're expecting is what is the column name we are expecting? File path. So go and try to add here this file path. So we are trying to add here file path. What is the file path data type? Varchar. Go and try to execute it. Then it's going to create here one column extra. It is going to create it. It's going to create one column extra. It is going to create it. Click on the run. Now it is ran. It's saying as query succeeded. Affected rows are 0. If you go and try to run this one, at the ending, you'll see one column, but that column as any data at this point of time. This column as any data at this point of time.
No.
No, we don't
Mm.
have. Yeah. Now, similarly, we want to do the other three columns also. We want to do it. Pipeline name, we want it. Go and try to put the pipeline name. Put the pipeline name. Let me copy the script two more times. Control C. Then try to one more time. One more time. Now we have here. Next one is available. Pipeline ID. So better to avoid the typing so that you will not do any spelling mistakes. Okay, copy and paste the column names
Sam, you're
properly.
changing the table name instead of column.
Oh, excellent. So yeah, you are right. So this is the pipeline name. Sorry, TZTMP, then TZTMP. then TGTM. Okay. Now, three things we are trying to modify here. Just try to alter this table. Let us go and try to run it. Now you'll able to see uh, four columns are available, but at this point of time, those four columns has no data inside that one. But we created the placeholders. File path is available, pipeline name, pipeline ID, load date. Now, whatever error message it is showing here, that error message relevant work, we did it now. If I go and try to click on debug now, will it work? Will it work? If I click on debug now,
Yes.
will it work? Or anything else you need to do? Now it's showing as a queue mode. Now we are already input. Right. Looks like it is succeeded. And as it is succeeded, if you go and try to observe here, all the 15 rows, whatever available, 15 rows are copied. We always need to observe the screen. Otherwise, sometimes, for example, some junk data we got it. At that moment, system may skip that record. Of course, for skipping purpose, you need to enable some other properties. Okay, in the sync side, we have options called as skipping options also available. We are going to know more about that one later point of time. We are going to know about it. There is an option called as whenever any problem, we can able to skip using these options. Okay, we'll talk about it. Time being, if you go to the back end, those all things, four columns, we should get the data now. We got the data. If you see right side, we got the data. We got it. Now, why we did not get it? First 14 records, you may not have it. Next 14 records, we have it. First 14 or 15 records, loaded now or loaded in the yesterday run? Loaded now or loaded before run?
Yesterday.
Yeah,
Before
before
one.
before run it's loaded, not now, not now. Now at this point of time, whatever you ran it, next 14 records or 15 records are loaded now. So it's showing as this is the file name and this is our pipeline name. Okay, this is our pipeline ID. This is the runtime 2023-03-24 it happened. Now it is going by default in append mode it is going, or it is going in the override mode. What is the
Append.
mode it is going?
Happened.
Append mode it is going. Suppose you are thinking like, man, I want to do every time overwrite mode I need to go. I don't want to go in the append mode. I want to go overwrite mode. I want to go. Overwrite mode I want to go. We have two approaches here also. We also have two approaches. Either you can go for truncate the table, whatever available, then load it. Okay, that is the one approach. Second is upsert also will work in a similar pattern. First, I'll go with the truncate table. Okay, truncate table means before loading, I want to truncate first, then I have to load it, right? Before loading, first I need to truncate, then I need to load it. So how we can do that is if you go and try to observe all the properties, whatever available here. I'm in the I'm in this one. There is a one option called as observe is all properties. There is a one option called as free copy script. What is the option?
Three
Free
copies.
copy script. Go and try to read that information also so that we'll get more understanding. Okay, it's saying as it's saying as specify a script for copy activity to execute before this word is important for me. Before writing data into sync table. Sync table means what? Target table. Sync table means what? Target table. In each run, you can use this property to clean up the preloaded data. To clean up the preloaded data. Is it giving enough information what this property is going to do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now I want to go and I want to write here some script which is capable of cleaning the data. We know very well how to write that one. Truncate table table name. Truncate table name. The table name is in our case TZT EMP is our table name. Always I prefer to write the schema name also. DBO is a schema and TGTEMP is the table name. Okay, so generally in SQL Server we'll be providing the square brackets. If you're not providing square brackets also, it's okay, but sometimes they will maintain your column names also on space. Okay, if spaces are available or some special characters are available, the square brackets are mandatory. That is the reason, as a best practice, schema name, table name, column name, everything enclosed in the square brackets, so that we will not worry about, okay, there is a column in the inside the column name, there is a space is available or not, any special things are available. Those all things we need not worry about it. We can make our mind free. Okay, always prefix with what? Prefix and first fix what? Square brackets. Now, DBO is a schema, TGTEMP is the table. DBO is a schema, TGTEMP is the table. If you go and try to observe here, okay, let us see. Let me refresh it. Click on the refresh, expand the tables. Now, your table, what it is available at DBO? What is DBO stands for here? Schema name. What is the TGTEMP here?
Table name.
Table name. Go to the schema, go to this table and truncate the table. That's what the instruction I am passing here. I am saying truncate the table which is located inside the schema, and the table name is, this is the table name I am passing instructions. Now, once you pass the instructions, click on debug and observe is it working properly or not. Now, once you click on debug, then it is going here, it is going into the queue mode, then it will be running. Now you can go and you can observe here this input script, what you passed here input, expand it. Now you passed the source is equal to delimited text file and additional columns, 4 columns you passed it, like file path, pipeline name, pipeline ID, load data. And also if you go and try to observe here, sync side, free copy script is equal to what script you passed?
Truncate.
Precopy script is equal to you passed here. Whatever you did over there, everything is converted as a JSON file. Everything is converted as what?
JSON file.
JSON file. Everything is converted as JSON file, and you can observe this JSON file very clearly. You can observe this is what the input we are giving. In the input, we have everything information: source side what you did, sync side what you did, what properties you touched it, what is the properties setup. Everything is available. Now, go and try to close this one. Then observe here. By this time, it is succeeded. As it is succeeded, if you go and try to observe here, how many rows are readed here? 15. How many rows are written? 15. So we are as expected, it is working. Now go to the database and observe what happened here. Are you expecting now? Are you expecting this all old data will be available, or old data will be cleaned up and new data will be coming? New data will be coming, right? Now if you go and try to observe here, select star from TGTEMP, now you'll see this is the new data what we got it. And that is the reason in the beginning onwards, we are seeing what? First row onwards, we are seeing what? File path, pipeline name, pipeline ID, load date, everything is available. You can see timestamp also. All the timestamps are available here, 2023, 03, 24, 02, like that. We'll have single timestamp. I mean to say, go for here, it is override or not, we can able to understand very clearly. Select, then load date, then go for count of records we want to go. I want to go for count of records. From the table called as TZTEMP is the table. Then group group by, then we are saying as load underscore date. That is going to give you, based on the load date, how many records are loaded, we are going to get it. If I have multiple load dates are available, we'll get here multiple records, right? But how many load dates are available in my table? In my table, how many load dates are available?
Only one.
Only one load date is available. On that load date, how many records are loaded?
15.
15 rows are loaded. That means properly it is truncating, then it is loading. For example, if I go here, if I remove this free copy script, whatever available, I am removing, for example, I am removing now the free copy script I am removing. I removed, then I am trying to click on here debug and observe is it removed properly or not by going to the input. By going to the input JSON, if you observe in this one, are you seeing the truncate option here? Are you seeing the truncate option sync after? Are you seeing the free copy script?
No.
No, we don't have. That means
No.
what? We removed it. As it we removed, it is empty. That is the reason it is not carried forward to the JSON file. It is not carried forward to the JSON file. Now it is ran completed. As it is completed, as you are not truncating, you are going to expect here two load dates or one load date.
One
Click
load.
on run now.
Two.
Two load dates we are going to expect. Previously we loaded 15. Now we loaded 15. Now you can notice this timestamp. What is the timestamp? It is 0 to 10 42 14. This is what 0 to 13. That means 3 minutes difference is there, looks like, right? How much difference is there? 3 minutes difference is there. So these 15 rows are loaded at the time of 2:13 it is loaded, and these 15 records are loaded at the time of 2:10 it is loaded. Like that, whenever you loaded something, always being a best data engineer, we need to observe what target you loaded. In the target, how many records are loaded, the data whatever is loaded properly loaded or not, you have to observe very carefully. You have to observe. Am I clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. With this, I think I am good with this topic that is called as additional columns. We have a topic here called as additional columns. We are good with this one. Next is available. Copy the
I have a
pipeline.
doubt. So for there is option upsert also, right? So what will
I'll talk.
upsert will do?
I'll talk.
Okay.
Okay. As you ask, let me give some information. Upsert is going to work if record is already available. It is going to update the existing record. If record is not there, it is going to insert it. If record is available or not, how we come to understand is we have to inform to the system, okay, you verify based on the employee ID. Let us say, for example, in the employee table, employee ID is the primary key column, right? Employee ID is the primary column. Based on this primary column, you verify it. If it is available, update it. If it's not available, insert it. Okay, as you asked it, let's go and try to do that. Okay, now we are going for upsert method, right? Let's see here. There is an option called as upsert. This is what she's asking. Let me select this upsert. The moment you selected upsert, then we need to tell to the system, you need to tell to the system how system need to identify the given record is available or not available first, based on some key column, right? Based on some key column. We need to specify what is your key column. Let us go and try to observe here. Let us go and try to observe here what is the information it is giving. Choose which column is used to determine if a row from the source matches a row from the sink. First, I need to know the one record is coming. That record is already there in the target or not, I need to know. How I will be knowing it? How I will be knowing it? Based on what column? Based on employee name, you are going to say, hey, this record is already available. Or based on employee name, you are going to say this record is already available. Based on the salary column, you are going to say this record is already available. Based on what column you want to do it?
Primary key column.
Yeah, primary key column, generally we are going to select the primary key column. In our case, it is a employee number. Go and try to select this option. Then go to the drop down. In the drop down, we are selecting as employee number column. Employee number. That means we are telling to the system, okay, first observe input one row is came, input one row is came. This employee number is there in the target or not, verify. If available, update the record. If not available, insert the record, Okay, you can go and you can read upset original meaning also here. Upset means, just go and try to type in the Google, then it is giving super information to you. The term upset is a combination of the words update and insert. You can notice here, what is this? Combination of the words update and insert. From this update, they taken first two letters. First two letters are what here? UP. Last four letters. What are the last four letters? SERT. Upsert. That's how it came. In the context of relational database, an upsert is a database operation that will update an existing record, an existing row if a specified value already exists in a table. In our case, what is the specified value? Employee number. And insert a new row if the specified value does not already exist. Is it clear enough?
Yes.
Yeah. Now go and try to verify it. Before verifying, I also do one more thing. I will go to I'll go to duplicate this one. Let me duplicate this page. I'm going to here, then go to the home, then go to my blob. In the blob, I have the container, then container. In the container, I have the folder. In the folder, I have the table. This table as file, there's nothing but file. Click on here, edit. I'm trying to, for our understanding purpose, I'm adding here one more record I'm adding. Control C, then I'm trying to say I'm adding one record. This record I am saying as, okay, 4 nines. Who asked this question? Explain upset. Who asked this question?
Me, Sadhna.
Sadhana.
Yeah.
Okay. Now Sadhana, then we are giving as manager. Okay. Now, yeah, remaining information I'm keeping as it is. And also I will do one more activity. I also remove one record which is available. ROM record is available here. I am removing this record. So total, how many records are disturbed here? Two
Two.
records. Yeah, and also one more thing I am doing, king record, I have here 5,000 is a salary. I am making that as a 9,000 is a salary I am making. Total now, how many records are disturbed? Three. One existing record, salary I updated from 5,000 to 9,000. RAM record is available 1, 2, 3, 4 that I removed. Third one, sadhana record I added here as a new record, fresh record I added here. Then I am trying to save it here. Let me save it. I saved it. Just for our understanding, let me go for the preview. Everything is coming properly or not. We are observing it. Okay, king record available 9,000. Sadhana record available 1,000, and she is a manager. And my record is not available. Ram record is not available because we removed it. Now let me close this one. I want to go here in the ADF now. In the ADF, we select already employee number based. I want to do the upset. Let us go and try to click on debug. Shall we do? Yeah. Now we can verify the upset meaning is what we can able to verify it now. Now we are going in the upset mode. It is going in the queue. And you can notice the input what we passed here. The input we passed is the right behavior is very important for us. Sync right behavior. We are going in what mode we are going? Insert mode or upset mode? The right
Upset.
behavior, we are going upset mode. We are going upset mode. Upset is happening based on what column? Employee number column, we are doing that one. Okay, now let us go and try to observe. It is succeeded now. Wow, beautiful, it succeeded. As it succeeded, go and try to observe the details. In the details, few things you need to know. How many rows it is readed? 15. How many rows it is written? 15 rows it is written. 15 rows it is written. So you can observe here, rows written is equal to 15 rows it is written. Now, if you go and try to observe the data, here, if you observe the data, let us go and try to execute this. Click on the run. Now we have here Now we have here data. Okay. Now show only result we are showing. Now we can observe one record should be there here in the bottom. Bottom. What you can notice here? 4 9s. Sadhana record is available. Okay, 1000 rupees sadhana record is available. King record. You can notice what is this? 9000 is available. So first thing, is it updated or not?
Yes, updated.
And this record is inserted or not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
insert.
Yeah.
Insert.
So here as it is updated, our up is working here. Okay, here as it is inserted here sat is working here. I can say it is upsert now. It is updated here. It is inserted here. This is what called as upsert meaning. This is what called as upsert meaning. Now, what about the record which you deleted? Any action it is taken about this record in upsert? Do you have any information about what to do here? No. There is reason no action is taken on that record. Okay. Now that record will be available like that only. In input it is not there. In input it is not there. In the target is available or not, it won't validate actually. So deleted record will not be deleted here. That's what I want to tell. In the source, if a record is deleted, that record will not be deleted in the target. Am I clear?
Yes.
So, right, I think we are clear about upsert. Let me go back to our course content again. Now, I think we are good with the additional columns and playing around it. Let us move on to the next topic that is called as create a pipeline from blob to blob. Any questions you have on this one before going for next? On the additional columns, anyone has any questions? No. Okay, good. Next one is available here. Create a pipeline from blob to blob. Only change what you are doing here. Previously, we are trying to read from where? We are reading the data from blob. We are loading the data into where?
SQL database.
SQL database. This time, I want to use target also blob only. Maybe same blob, another container, or maybe same blob, same container, another folder maybe. Maybe same blob, same container, same folder, but another file may be possible. Or maybe this blob is different and target blob is maybe different. Whatever way you want to configure, you can configure. It may be same blob, same container, same folder, another file name. Same blob, same container, different folder. Same blob, different container. Maybe different blob also. Whatever variety you want to configure here, you can able to configure it. Okay, time being, we want to take a different blob, altogether different blob I want to create it, and I want to move the data. Different blob I want to create and I want to move the data. We don't have the time, it is point of time. So tomorrow we'll go for that chapter. Am I clear? I am publishing it, your work will be saved here. So I hope by this time everyone got the student IDs configured, right? Anyone not configured? Okay, and always observe your type here education in the top. In the top menu bar, you type here education, then you'll get the education, you are going to get it. Observe your credits also. Always you try to observe your credits so that you come to understand how many credits we have it, how fastly these all are consuming. Okay, make sure you have this $100, keep save. Okay, to save that one, try to use in limits, each one has its own limits. Okay, free services we have here, right? If you go and try to explore these free services, then you come to understand what you mean by limits. Each service has its own limits. For example, Azure blob storage, up to what GB you can able to enjoy,
5 GB.
and what type of storage we have to use it.
LRS.
LRS. We have the four methodologies, right? LRS, GRS, ZRS, okay, and ZGRS. So those out of that one LRS only, we have to use it. If you use GRS, your credits will be consumed. Make sure you are using your credits effectively. Okay, your parents' money you are not using effectively also, it is okay. Am I clear?
Yes.
Okay, right. Second one is Azure SQL database. Then it is what? 250 GB. Now this also we have to see here. There is a separate configuration is available for this one. I already documented in our document. It is available. If you go and try to see the top, if you see in the top, I provided Azure SQL database, how to create it. Okay, this is the document you have to follow. Best for modern. Okay, follow this blog for the Azure SQL database doc. Here, carefully configure by following the instructions. Okay, mainly you have to configure one thing that is called as this one DTU. Standard you have to select here, and DTUs are 10. Data max size is equal to 50. These parameters are very important. Very important. Just follow this document very carefully and do it so that you will not charge anything. You will not charge anything. Okay. Now, similarly, what you are using one more service now, we are using Azure Data Factory, right? Azure Data Factory also free based on certain parameters. Yeah, see this one. Data Factory. 5 activities, low frequency activities are good. Taking the bunch of data, maybe 2 millions, 3 millions of records in the input file and loading is, I won't suggest in the training room. Okay, take as small as possible. As small as possible. Am I clear? We want to understand the concept. That's it, right? You are working with 14 records, are working with the 14,000 records, 14 million, same experience, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So go and try to use 5 low activity frequencies. Okay. Now more about information, read here. I want you to understand what you mean by free services. Each free service has its own limits. You should not cross that limits. As long as you're not crossing that limits, your credits are not going to consume. Okay. Right. Thank you. We'll meet tomorrow.
Sir,
Sir,
Yeah.
I have a question.
Mhm.
So regarding the like column mapping, so you said like from source side you have like a certain number of columns, on the target side, so the same columns it is matching, so the table is gonna be copied from source to target, right? So I
Right.
have a case I have a,
I got your
from
question. I
target side
got your
like I have
question.
20 columns.
I got your question. Okay. So that's what we have next tab that is called as mapping tab. We did not explain about this one. We are going to do it.
Not the mapping, sir. Like you said, you like from source side you are getting extra columns, so you added manually in the target side, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for example, I have target time, like from target side I have like 20 columns. It's a fixed columns.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes like somebody is sending 17 columns in the source, like sometimes they are adding one more column, 18 columns like that. So at that
Mm-hmm.
time there is a difference, right?
Yeah, it will fail.
So at that time, like there is 2 files missing in the source, right? But I have
Mm-hmm.
in the target. So how it is gonna be copy the data? It will copy the data or not?
Okay. 18 columns are available in the target. 16
Source.
columns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah. 18 columns are available in the target. 16 columns are available in the source. It is okay. It will load the data.
I can load the data.
The 2 columns, whatever it is there, it is going to populate the null.
Okay. So for example, okay, null. So for example, next day they are sending 17 columns from the source. So the 17 columns will gonna copy, and one column
Yes.
should be like it will become automatically
Exactly.
null.
Exactly.
Okay. So how you're gonna do that? Like it is automatically copy the data like that, or else you need to
Based on
pass
the
some any
column name. Based.
parameters?
No need to pass anything. No need to pass anything. Try today itself, right? You
Okay.
know now what to do. We have
Okay.
the source is available. This is the flat file. Go here, manually remove one column in
Mm-hmm.
this file. In this file, you know how to remove one column, right?
Yeah.
Remove one column, whatever available here, and
Mm-hmm.
load the thing and see what is happening.
Okay.
And let me
Okay.
know tomorrow what is your experience.
Sure. Definitely, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.